Savannah, Georgia, summer of 2006. The kind of heat that clings to your skin, the cicadas loud enough to drown out thoughts, and a town still clinging to old ideas like faded wallpaper in an abandoned house. Emily Jameson, daughter of a Baptist preacher, had never dared to look at another girl for too long. She'd learned from a young age that her thoughts were sins, her heart was a battlefield, and her love, if it dared bloom, was doomed from the start. But all of that changed the day she met Maya Lopez. Maya had transferred from Atlanta. Her skin was the color of rich coffee, her hair cropped short and dyed a deep maroon that gleamed like a warning. She didn't talk much the first week of school, but when she did, it was with a calm fire that made people listen. Emily noticed her right away. How could she not? The first time they spoke was under the old ash tree behind the school gym. Emily had gone there to cry after another lecture from her father about purity and salvation. Maya had been sketching. Their eyes met, and something silent passed between them. Not recognition, not yet, but something ancient and aching. "Are you okay?" Maya asked. Emily wiped her tears and lied, "Yeah." Maya didn't push. She simply scooted over and held out half of her sandwich. That's how it began. For weeks, their friendship grew like ivy, quiet, tenacious, and wrapping around every part of Emily's heart. They spent afternoons at the ash tree, shared songs through headphones, wrote notes in the margins of each other's books. But it wasn't innocent, and they both knew it. One late October evening, when the air finally cooled and the world felt bearable, Emily kissed Maya. It was clumsy, hesitant, but real. The days after were a whirlwind of emotion. Maya smiled more. Emily walked lighter. But their world wasn't ready for them. One morning, someone spray-painted the word "dyke" on Maya's locker. Teachers turned blind eyes. Her father's face turned to stone when he found a photo of the girls in Emily's drawer. She was locked in her room for 3 days. Her phone was confiscated. Her church prayed over her like she was diseased. Maya, meanwhile, was told by the principal to be less provocative. Her mother, a single immigrant woman working 2 jobs, begged her to keep her head down, fearing for both their safety. But love doesn't die in silence. One night, Emily ran away. She climbed out her window and ran through the woods to Maya's apartment. Maya was waiting. They didn't speak at first. They simply held each other beneath the moonlight, shaking with fear and hope. "I don't want to hide anymore," Emily whispered. "You might not have a choice," Maya replied, her voice raw. "I'm choosing you," Emily said. And Maya kissed her like a vow. The night Emily ran to Maya's apartment became the beginning of something deeper, more dangerous, and more courageous than either of them expected. Maya's mother, Rosa, didn't say a word when she found the two of them curled up on the worn couch the next morning. She simply stared at them, jaw tight, hands trembling slightly. Emily sat up, her heart racing. "I'll go," Emily whispered. But Rosa only sighed. "No. Sit." They sat. "I don't know what this is going to cost," Rosa said, her accent thicker than usual, "but I won't throw out a girl who's scared and alone. My job is to protect my daughter. I'll protect her friend, too." That became their pact. Rosa didn't fully understand, she didn't pretend to, but she chose love over fear. Emily stayed hidden for 2 weeks. Her father searched, posted her picture, rallied church members, and even filed a police report. But when they found her, the truth unraveled. A neighbor tipped the police. Emily was found in Maya's apartment, and everything exploded. The school suspended Maya. Her mother received a warning from Child Protective Services. Emily's parents tried to place her in a Christian rehabilitation center for sexual confusion. The court, however, had other ideas. Emily was 17. In Georgia, that meant she could speak for herself in certain legal situations. With the help of a local LGBTQ+ advocacy group, people Maya had found through a desperate internet search, Emily petitioned for emancipation. It was a brutal process. She had to stand in court and say, with steady breath and shaking hands, that her home was not safe. That her parents' love felt like violence. That her heart was not a sickness. She won. Rosa offered her a room and a roof. The advocacy group helped her get a job at a bookstore. Maya, now also suspended, started taking GED prep classes online. They were building a life, piece by fragile piece. But freedom wasn't peace. Whispers followed them through town. Some stores refused to serve them. A brick shattered Rosa's car window with the word "sinner" taped to it. Emily couldn't go a day without hearing someone from her old life whisper or scoff. But Maya always reached for her hand. Maya always stood tall. Their love became their protest. They painted murals together, secret art on the back walls of abandoned buildings. Each one was a declaration, girls kissing under stars, hands reaching toward the sky, hearts made of flame and flowers. Their art spread across town like wild ivy, bold and impossible to ignore. One day, after almost a year of struggle and survival, they returned to the ash tree. It was still there, though the school had tried to cut it down after the incident. Roots dug deep into the soil. Stubborn. Still alive. Maya brought a knife. She carved a tiny heart into the bark and added their initials, E+M. "This tree saw us first," she whispered. "And it still stands," Emily added. Then they kissed under its branches, no longer hiding, no longer apologizing. Their story didn't end in that town, though the pain of it would always echo in their bones. They moved to Atlanta when Maya was accepted into an art school. Emily got a scholarship for writing. Years passed. Emily published a memoir called Beneath the Ash Tree. Maya illustrated the cover. It became a bestseller. Their story, once whispered in judgment, was now shouted in defiance and hope. They returned to Savannah years later, older, prouder, still in love. The ash tree was gone, cut down during a school renovation. But in its place, someone had planted a new sapling, with a small plaque beside it. To those who loved boldly, despite it all.